right, thanks, Kelly. Breaking overnight, a statewide silver alert has been issued for a man last seen right here in Bakersfield. 74-year-old Leo Kurtz of Antioch was last seen yesterday at the Bakersfield Days Inn just before 9 in the morning. Kurtz has gray hair, blue eyes, and is about 5'9", weighing around 220 pounds. He was last seen driving away in a gold Chrysler 300 with Nevada license plates reading 934 PNH. He has a medical condition and is considered in danger. If you've seen him, you're asked to call police.
One of the most anticipated shopping days of the year is finally here. Thousands of people across the country, millions of people lined up to snag some of the best deals and to wait in some long lines. 23 ABC's Tweelon Nugent has a look this morning live at the lines here in Kern County, which didn't materialize.
Good morning, Mike. Now take a look. We have some Best Buy VIP access right now. They don't open until 8 a.m., but we weaseled our way in here. And look at the steals, you guys. If you've got an extra $999 around, you can save more than $700 on a TV. How great is that? But you know what? I'm interested more to see how much turkey Bakersfield ate last night and if that tryptophan is having an effect, because, you guys, there's not even a line outside yet. I think people are afraid of this cold, and they're afraid to stand out there and get in this line because Best Buy opens at 8 o'clock, which isn't too far away. So most of the action that everyone saw last night was around 6 o'clock when all of these stores opened. Target opened at 6 o'clock, Best Buy opened at 6 o'clock yesterday, and that's when they snagged all of those deals. And I spoke to some employees, and they say everyone was pretty docile. They're pretty calm this year, nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary, no wigs flying, quote, as one guy said, and no one getting trampled. So it sounds pretty good on that front, and maybe people are just a little calmer because of that tryptophan in the turkey. Who knows what the thing is, but right now there's no line at Best Buy, so if you want to be the first one, I suggest you get out here right now, because as it warms up, we're going to get more people out here. So head on out to the Best Buy in Rosedale. Live at the Best Buy, Tweelon Nugent, 23 ABC.
All right, Tweelon, so it's calm here, but across the country, Black Friday got off to a black and blue start for some shoppers. While many crowds were relatively subdued, millions of people waiting in the lines overnight to get the best deals that began Thanksgiving night. For the start of the shopping season, there were some areas where things got out of hand. In El Paso, Texas, a brawl erupted with a police officer in the middle of it trying to break it up, leading some people away, and at one point had a man in handcuffs. In Michigan, a woman snatches a box right out of a child's hands, and that's when the shoving began. All right, shoppers in Denver weren't battling each other. They were fighting the elements. Yeah, a little chilly and snowy out there in freezing temperatures.
And while millions are already on to Black Friday, maybe not here locally, but across the nation, some are still dealing just with the leftovers from Thanksgiving. Here in Bakersfield, Marie Callender's was packed with locals who opted against staying home and cooking Thanksgiving dinner. The restaurant said they had lines of people who opted not to cook. About 70 people worked throughout the whole restaurant, from making those turkeys to cashing out customers. In fact, General Manager Joel Lopez says they've sold thousands of pies.
Earlier today and yesterday, these tables were stacked to the top. We pushed out about 8,000 pies in the last 2 days. Right now, we're just doing to-go orders and food. So basically, that's what we're up to right now.
Marie Callender's is just one of many restaurants in town that say they've seen an increase in people who chose to pick up dinner rather than deal with cooking. And this morning, new numbers show that for the first time, San Diego is one of the top 4 cities in the nation when it comes to homeless population. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development reports San Diego has more than 8,700 homeless people. That's up from last year's numbers, where there were only 8,500. San Diego has steadily increased in homeless population through the years. In 2007, it had the 12th highest homeless population. Seattle, Los Angeles, and New York City have the highest homeless populations in the country.
California's high-speed rail project will soon be headed to the nation's capital to be scrutinized by federal lawmakers. Turlock Congressman Jeff Denham, who chairs the U.S. House Rail Subcommittee, says he will call for hearings early next year to examine the continued increasing cost of this project. This comes following a recent report that showed continued cost increases that weren't disclosed to the public. The project initially was supposed to cost taxpayers just under $30 billion. It's now projected at more than $70 billion. Pope Francis continued his tour of Africa this morning, this time by visiting one of the largest shanty towns in Nairobi. The Pope calling the lack of basic services in the slum, quote, a new form of colonialism. He drove through the shanty town in his Pope mobile with crowds cheering him along the way. Some of the residents there said his visit showed them they're not forgotten and that God loves them too. The Pope is scheduled to fly to Uganda later today before finishing his trip in the Central African Republic. It is the biggest night of the year on the ice, and it doesn't involve Santa or his elves, but instead it involves you. Sure to be plenty of fireworks for the annual Teddy Bear Toss when Condors host Stockton on Saturday night. It is the highest attended game of the season every year. Chase Shaber right here got the Teddy Bear goal last year that unleashed the fur early in the game. Now, here's the rub. Don't wait until you get to the game to buy your tickets, because there have been instances in the past people are standing outside in a long line waiting to get in. The Condors score their goal. They hear the eruption from outside, and then they don't get to do that. They don't get to toss the bear into the back of a pickup truck you find on the ice. Yeah, see, that's what happens. It's always a lot of fun.
I was going to say, it looked like you were having a good time out
It's a lot of work, too. It's a lot of
Try
work.
and turn it into something.
All right, it's fun.
All right. Well, still to come, in the wake of increased threats from ISIS, 2 world leaders gather to discuss strategy.